That was
I bet
not
you
in sync.
guys are surprised to hear us. It's been so long.
Yeah, I thought you died.
No, I didn't die. I just, got sick, and here we are.
What are we drinking?
We have Spaceways. It's a modern times beer. It's a hazy Nelson IPA. I don't know what a Nelson IPA is, but
Looks pretty cool. I like it.
it's very modern, hence the name. Is it good?
It's all right.
On like the scale of like 1 to 10 or like really good
4.
to great, you're like, it's a 4?
It's under average.
I'll give it a 5. That's all right. Not nearly as bad as the shit you tried to have me drink on Christmas.
I remember that. You just had to take like 4 gulps and the alcohol made it taste good.
It didn't taste good ever for me, no matter how much I drank it.
Because you didn't gulp it enough.
It's a crime to dump a beer.
So we haven't posted in, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
It's been 4 weeks by the time we posted, which really apologize, guys. It killed us more than it hurt you.
It's really Britain's fault, though, so don't blame me.
It is totally my fault. I'll take the blame. I did get sick, and family stayed home for a while and took it easy, and when we were over it, we got back to business, and here we are.
I kept trying to do a podcast, but every time I looked over and asked questions, nobody answered.
You just got the wall. So you had like a bunch of half-finished episodes, and you're just like, we'll just edit your stuff in later. And like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
30
quite
minutes
work that
was
way.
silence, too. I was getting really irritated.
Oh. See, 31 minutes of silence is where I draw the line. I can sit through 30, but 31? It's a little bit too much. But it's a whole new year. Holy shit. This is a brand new year, 2021, and things are still shitty.
I mean, I can't believe, what's going to be next. I mean, can 2021 be worse?
Don't put that out there.
I was going to say, because I don't know if you saw this. So apparently people around the internet are saying Nostradamus made predictions about 2021. And they were saying that there's going to be a worse, pandemic, and zombies are going to happen.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So we're going to get zombie, COVID people.
See, the thing is, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I hope we don't see it, but at this point, I'm like, what else?
Yeah.
Literally,
Not only that, an asteroid's going to hit the Earth. So zombies,
in 2021.
asteroid, we're done.
Wow. Do you believe that?
No.
Yeah.
But it would be cool to have zombies.
It's like, do you believe that? No, not at all. But hey, it was said by somebody. Nostradamus of all people.
That's why in America we have guns, Britain, because of the zombies.
Yeah. I got a gun, just one. But, I was thinking about it because while I was sick, I was actually going back and listening to our old episodes, and we've gotten better. I'm going to say the first couple, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cringy.
I think our Skinwalker Ranch was good. It was the peak, and then went down, and then it's going a little bit up.
Yeah, we're kind of going up and down, and obviously when we have big gaps, that might hurt a little bit, but we appreciate you coming back. Sorry to make you wait, but I was thinking because our very first episode, we released it February 2nd, so we're almost a whole year into this thing, but we did a cheers to 2020. I think we caused this shit. It's our fault. We did it.
This year's going to be great. Nothing can ruin it. Nothing.
We started a podcast where here's to a brand new decade, a new year.
Well, to 2021.
Ka-ching. We don't have any whiskey or anything. We'll just cheers a beer.
Don't say we don't have whiskey, because I have it. So we had a pretty popular episode that was requested by a viewer submission, specifically on our YouTube platform. So we were actually going to visit the topic again of Darwin Awards.
I love the Darwin Awards.
The important part of the Darwin Awards that people sometimes miss is the reason why it's a Darwin Award is because they can no longer propagate the species because they're stupid.
That's a very good way to put it.
It's kind of funny to laugh at them, but when you're me, you're I feel a little sympathy there, especially that dynamite guy from the last episode.
Yeah.
He's like, here's a bunch of dynamite. I'm going to go 20 yards away. That's safe. And I'm going to shoot it. I'm like, that was me.
Well,
that was me in my past life. Britain, he believes he was Cleopatra,
No.
or some famous person. I'm the guy that was like, oh shit, I was the dynamite guy. Fuck.
I shot a sweaty stick of dynamite.
You imagine
10
a
feet away.
2-year-old saying that as their past life. I had another life. I shot a pile of dynamite and I died.
No, it's so not to throw back to another episode too, but when we talked about the whole reincarnation thing and how birthmarks were a sign of a previous death, my son had a birthmark on his head, near his temple. It went away, it disappeared, but it's kind of creepy, because that's a serious death spot, on your temple.
Yeah, that you would imagine that's where someone got killed.
So it's gone now. So I mean, but that's what they said is it's right after your death, so it's super vivid, and then it just kind of fades. Some people, like I still have mine, it didn't fade on my wrist. I don't know what kills me on my wrist, but anyway, so yeah, it's kind of good that we're doing more of a humorous thing this year with all the crazy shit that we're going through right now. But yeah, Darwin Awards are up, so Clete, why don't you pick our first one? Looks like you're already ready to go.
So this one is called Playing with Cats. It actually happened in January 2nd of 1996 in India. A tiger killed one man and mauled another at the Calcutta Zoo yesterday. Well, obviously it's not yesterday. When they tried to put a marigold garland, what is that? Like, it's got to be like a necklace, okay, around its neck. So this guy is in the zoo, and he wants, I guess he feels compelled to put a necklace on a tiger.
He's like, you know what that tiger's missing? This gold necklace. Come here, kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not smart.
In a New Year's greeting, so it was about like, next year, just like 2021, this guy's, you're like, you know what? I'm going to put a necklace on a tiger.
That's a hell of a New Year's resolution right there.
So his name was Prakash Tiwari. I butchered that, but, he's dead. And Suresh Ra had been drinking before they bought the floral garlands.
Say no more.
And crossed the moat around the tiger's enclosure. Okay, so the tiger was actually
in an enclosure.
Yeah.
So it always starts with a night of drinking, and then you're like, let's go do something really fun.
This is like the reason why men die before women.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, this is like, again, I can have sympathy here because that thought might come across my mind. And if I was aggressively drunk and someone didn't say, Clete, that's a bad idea, you might die,
I can see you being like, I don't care. Fuck it. We're going to have zombies this year anyway. So I'm going to go by lying.
This is for you, Nostradamus. So authorities said, I was shocked to see the two young men weaving around in front of the tiger with garlands in their hands.
That's not something you see often.
You're probably like laughing like,
He's like, come here, kitty, kitty.
So who witnessed the attack that triggered panic and near stampede in the zoo? The men, both in their 20s, were trying to put the garland on a 13-year-old male Royal Bengal tiger named Shiva, after the Hindu god of destruction. Okay, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's just a nice cat. It's no big deal.
So when Rai threw the garland around Shiva's neck, the tiger attacked him. His friend, Tiwari, intervened, kicking the tiger in the face. God, that's cool.
Hey, you got to protect your friends. If you were getting mauled by a tiger, I'd go for the face shot too.
Yeah, you got to help a friend. This reminds me, I feel like this would be in the Hangover movie, like The Hangover 4.
They woke up with a tiger. They stole Mike Tyson's tiger.
Yeah,
so
all they had to do was kick it in the face, but PETA. The tiger released Rai and attacked and killed Tiwari.
So it stopped attacking him. He's like, you want to kick me?
Like, you motherfucker. It was probably like the Samuel L. Jackson of tigers. He's like, you motherfucking kicked me in my motherfucking enclosure?
I'm tired of these motherfucking people in this motherfucking...
Brought to you by a true story. So this is by the authority. He says, I saw it all. The tiger turned and jumped on the other young man and put its head on the man's neck.
It's like he just sees it literally eat this guy's neck.
Yeah. And within moments, the man was apparently dead, his head dangling. Oh, that's sad. The two were reported devotees of the goddess Durga and had gone to worship the tiger. Probably butchered that goddess name. Don't get mad. Immediately after the incident, an angry crowd went on a stone-pelting spree at which 2 children and women were injured. That's, bizarre to me. Would you be upset if you heard a man at your local zoo was killed by a tiger? And, you'd, I don't know, get mad and protest outside?
No, because the first thing I'm thinking of is he jumped into the enclosure.
This reminds me of a story. Did you ever hear about the situation at the San Diego Zoo?
Are you talking about Harambe?
No, it was a tiger. No, we're not going with Harambe. That's sad.
Yeah,
so,
is that where the kid falls in? And
No. So these jackasses that were drunk were taunting a tiger. Like they were throwing little bits of food at him and yelling at it. And apparently this enclosure wasn't equipped for an angry tiger or whatever it was. Okay, it was some type of tiger. And the tiger jumped up, got out of the enclosure, and these bastards, these drunk people were running, okay? The tiger chased one of them down and killed him.
Oh my God.
Now that's a story.
I mean, that's poetic justice if you ask me, but you can pick
Like,
a
you
ram.
stupid tiger, we're up here. You're a piece of shit. And then it jumped up.
It's like, oh yeah? I mean, there's nothing more terrifying than if you were like taunting a tiger like, I'm safe, and it literally jumps out of the enclosure. It's like, oh, all right. I'm literally questioning every decision I've made.
I imagine, like, you die and go to heaven, if you believe in that. And you're, like, surrounded by all these other people that died for, like, standing up for their principles or this major cause. And they're like, what are you here for? You're like, well, I heckled a tiger, and he jumped out of the cage and killed me.
Good job. Don't mess with cats. All right, this one comes from 2010, and it's labeled as Darwin Award Winner of the Century.
Ooh.
It's titled Angry Wheelchair Man.
Oh.
I'm betting he didn't drive into a lion enclosure. Okay, so this was 25th August 2010, Daejeon, South Korea. An angry handicapped man, annoyed that an elevator departed without him, thinks it over before ramming his wheelchair into the doors. Once, twice, 3 times in all.
I think I saw this on 1,000 Ways to Die. It seems familiar.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, we all hate to lose an elevator, but just start ramming into it with his wheelchair. Success and failure combined as he gained access to the elevator and plunged down the rabbit hole to his death.
What if you were just a bystander to that? Like, you're just sitting there at the drinking fountain, taking a sip. You kind of look over, you see this guy in a wheelchair racing
ramming
to
the
elevator.
bejesus out of the elevator.
No, what happens is he's racing to it because he sees it shut, and then it just closes, and you see his face just get red.
He's
and he
like,
starts
hold
ramming it. You're like, you know what? I'm going to let him have this. He's got to cool off, and you see it just kind of open, and he falls to his death. Like, what would you... I'd just be like, oh.
I don't know. I'd be like, I don't know how to comprehend what just happened. Hold the elevator!
Could you then imagine having to explain that to the building maintenance person or the cops?
Can
You're
you
like,
tell me what happened here? Well, he missed the elevator, decided to ram it, and the doors just opened up and swallowed him whole. I don't know. He died. Oh, they have a video here. It's age restricted. So you can watch the video, I guess. Like maybe it was the one you saw. This 40-year-old man earns immortality as an irritated Darwin Award winner. Now, that was a short one.
I'm going to click this randomly. There's a bunch of them. Here
I
goes.
think there's a random button you can click.
No way. Where's the random button?
So if you click one, so like just click like Zaptitude or whatever.
Okay.
And you can click random.
Okay.
Right there.
We're doing random. This one's called Sneakers. February 8th, 2002, Pennsylvania. Outside a camp for troubled use, sneakers dangled from the electricity line, presumably tossed there by a camper who enjoyed the challenge of notoriety.
Did you ever toss sneakers on the telephone wires?
No, but I thought about it.
I have several times. That's how you would retire old sneakers. I mean, obviously it's not like the right way to do it. You'd throw them away, but like, yeah, you'd tie them and throw them up there and you're good.
I never thought you were a deviant, Britain.
There's a lot you don't know about me.
Back to the story. But the sneakers were an eyesore to a 20-year-old employee. So he's working around there, just staring at those sneakers like, you son of a bitch, not on my power line.
Is this how we're reading them now? Like a disgruntled newscast?
So he said, presumably, I mean, this is in the story. I don't know if they knew him, but he
Let's
said
presume here.
they must be eliminated. He stood in the raised bucket on a front-end loader and poked at the sneakers with a device consisting of 14-foot copper tube with a pocket knife taped to the end.
Oh, I wonder where this is going. I'm no genius here, but I think a pocket knife and electrical wire don't mix well.
Just a full metal stick would have just helped him out. The determined employee had nearly removed a pair of the shoes when the knife pierced the insulation and made contact with an electrical wire. He was knocked out off the bucket, I wonder how high he was, and landed on the hood of the loader with burns on his hands, foot, and buttocks.
Hands, 1 foot, and his ass.
Yeah.
Everything else was fine.
Yeah, everything else was good except, his life, because he died.
Did he really?
He died from his injuries within 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. I was going to say that's a very selective shock, but now I feel bad.
Quote from his mother. Was this a foolish choice? Well, not according to her. She said, nobody knows what really happened.
I was going to say, quote from his mother, I was shocked
I think he
to
was
hear of
murdered.
his passing. He was murdered by a goddamn telephone pole. See, why are we were stupid because we were just selecting them like ones we wanted. There's a random button.
Yeah,
This
we're
is
doing
the best
random.
thing in the world. All
Yeah.
right, random number 2, jack up.
Better than jack off.
Debatable. 9th. I'm going to read it like you know. 9th, April 2003, New Zealand. Phil needed to make repairs to the underside of his car. But when he jacked it up, there wasn't enough room for him to work. So he removed the car's battery, placed the jack on top of it, and set to work again, this time with plenty of elbow room. You know what's going to happen here? Unfortunately for Phil, car batteries are not designed to carry much weight.
He put the car battery like under the tire.
The car battery collapsed and the jack toppled, trapping him beneath the car. Unable to breathe due to the heavy weight on his chest, he quickly expired in a pool of battery acid. Oh my God.
That's not a good way to go.
This incident is illuminated by 2 additional facts. First, Phil's occupation was accident prevention officer at a large food processing plant. And second, 10 years previous, he had been working under a car when the jack collapsed, trapping him and breaking one of his legs. Some people just don't learn, even from their own mistakes.
That reminds me of a story of me.
Oh, so just like you said, you can relate to these.
Yeah, because, Darwin. So when I was 16, used to really be into cars and fixing them, and I bought this car. I think it was a Pontiac Grand Am. It was like rare. It was like 1970. Dude, it had a V8, and if you freaking just put down the pedal, you could watch the gas gauge go down in real time. It was really cool. But we were working on it, and we didn't understand that a jack isn't like a jack stand. It's not actually built to hold weight for a prolonged period of time. So we're sitting there, we're working on one piece of the car, and my friend was under it, and the jack just busted.
Oh.
And I was like freaking out because he was a little overweight, the car didn't go up too high. And I remember I was like, no! And I with my 2 hands, I grabbed the under piece of the car and I just lifted as hard as I could. And it appeared to go up. I don't know. He got out from under the car, and my arms were bleeding because I was lifting the car so hard.
So you had like mother strength.
Well, no, they say that like in times of what do you call that
Peril.
thing? In times of adrenaline, sometimes you can have like periodic super strength. My friend said the car lifted. I swear to God, and there was like deep cuts on my arm.
He said it was heavy. Wasn't sure. He just took a breath and it was like,
just pushed it all the way down.
oh God.
Little rat.
That's scary though. I being crushed by anything just sounds like an awful way to go. And watching someone else get
He
crushed.
was my best friend at the time. I was like, I will not let the car I bought a week ago kill my friend. All right. This one is called Privacy on the Beach.
I think we're going to go to a nude beach.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow. Okay. North Carolina, December 4th, 1997. He just wanted some damn privacy. Daniel Jones suffocated when a sandy 8-foot hole caved in as he relaxed inside it on a beach chair. So did he just dig a 8 feet hole and sit in it?
I'm assuming it's a sinkhole.
He's like, I hate people. Observers on the Outer Banks beach in Buxton, North Carolina said he might have dug the hole for privacy and for protection from the wind. Like, what's the point of even being at the beach if you're just in a hole?
And digging an 8-foot hole, that takes
It's
a long
excessive.
time. Like, he gets there at like 6 a.m. He's not done till 6 p.m. He's like, fucking finally.
Beachgoers used their hands and plastic toy shovels in an unsuccessful attempt to claw their way to Jones. You wouldn't believe the outpouring of concern, people digging with their hands using pails from kids. Dare County Sheriff Bert Austin said.
They're like grabbing kids' toys, like, give me your fucking shovel, Jimmy.
Why do you need... all right, I guess you need a shovel. I don't know. Rescue workers with heavy equipment took nearly an hour to free him from 5 feet of sand while 200 people looked on. The 21-year-old resident of Woodbridge, Virginia, was pronounced dead on Thursday.
Yeah. They say don't bury yourself next to a body of water. I wonder why.
Yeah, they also say don't get stuck in a sandy trap.
Weird. All right, this one is called Tree versus Man. 21st December 2004 in Georgia. It looked at first like a bizarre traffic accident. Smoke rose from the charred remains of a large tree that had toppled onto a smoldering pickup truck. The body of a man, burned beyond recognition, was found inside the truck. Investigators were puzzled. How could the truck have collided with the tree behind a house? And why did the tree fall onto the truck instead of away from it?
I have some questions, but I'm going to propose what happened. Okay, I haven't read what you have, but I bet they were trying to cut the tree down, and they're like halfway through. They got some rope on a truck, so I'll just pull it down. And then it fell on the truck and killed them. All right, continue.
All right. And what had started the fire? As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, it became clear that the dead man was the victim of his own good deed. I think you're onto something. Reggie, who was 47, had offered to remove a tree behind his girlfriend's home.
I understand stupid.
He borrowed his father's pickup truck, apparently in the belief that he could yank out the bottom of the tree, which would then, cartoon-like, fall away from the truck. He tied the truck to the tree and floored the accelerator. The uprooted tree, pulled in the direction of the force, because, gravity and
Physics.
toppled onto the truck, crushing the cab and trapping Reggie. The still running engine eventually overheated, starting a grass fire, which ignited the truck's gas tank, turning it into a fireball that spread to the tree. Thankfully for Reggie, police determined that he was probably dead before the truck caught fire.
There are happy endings, because I was thinking, that happened, and he's, sitting in there, don't worry, my girlfriend will notice that I've been out here with my truck running for hours, and then he's like, everything's going to be okay, and then he sees the fire.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think that the tree hitting it probably did him in, but it is kind of sad. He's like, I'm going to do something nice for my girlfriend. I'm gonna borrow my dad's truck. I'm going to rip this tree up. Kaboosh.
I'm starting to think maybe in heaven there's a Darwin Award table, and someone's like, oh no, here's what I did. I tried to pull a goddamn tree out and it killed me.
And those sons of bitches down there read my story on their podcast.
Yeah, they're a piece of shit.
I hope I'm never on the freaking Darwin Award table. I know, like you said, though, there's some things in life you're like, should I be doing this?
Yeah, that dynamite one, I keep bringing it up, but that's me. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
This one is called The Case of the Charred Cook.
Oh, charred crook. Reading is hard, Cleet.
Fuck off.
This one's called How to Pronounce Case of the Charred Crook.
This is called Fuck Operating, you old whore. This one is called Case of the Charred Crook.
Oh.
In Croatia, stupid rises to a new level. Yeah, Croatia,
Hey,
looking at you.
We didn't say it. This is the website.
Nah, I'm saying it right now, Croatia. I'm looking at you with my two eyes, and I'm saying stupid. When a criminal...
Why?
I like it. It's funny.
We have Croatian listeners.
Good. When a criminal in a padded penitentiary decides to whip out his contraband lighter. I don't know where he got it. Maybe it was in his butt.
His prison wallet. His gut locker.
The secret pocket.
We all got one. Your face.
So now it goes back to a date. Don't know why, but November 16th, 2015.
Well, you needed some precedence before.
Bojan Besic was a petty criminal who spent much of his life in prisons. A small-time
crook
with a police dossier as extensive as the literary works of Tolstoy. I don't know what that means. I guess it's like a writer. Bojan's career was marked by persistence rather than success.
Well, hey, you know what? At least he kept up on it.
Yeah.
He's going to be damned if he fails this again.
For example, death letters persistently sent to his ex-girlfriend landed the criminal mastermind in Pola to serve an 8-month sentence, adding to a cumulative 5 years already spent behind bars. Maybe he's sending angry letters. I don't know.
Yeah, he's writing angry death threats to his girlfriend. It's like going to the DMV and asking for money with your name on the slip.
He's like, Dear Shelley, I'm going to kill you. F you. Sincerely, Bojan.
Here's my address. Do not return to sender. I cannot afford more time in jail.
Send him the same letter every day. During his incarceration, Bo-young's behavior was so outstanding that on a fateful Monday, the prison guards locked him in a padded cell in solitary confinement. So I guess they're being satirical there.
I cannot imagine being in solitary confinement. That would drive me nuts.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Little did they suspect that the cool down time would leave him literally more hot-headed than before.
Oh, no way.
I know where this is going. The brilliant prisoner had managed to smuggle a lighter into the rubber room or the padded room. I wonder how he's going to take out his rage.
He's gonna push the lighter out and light the fucking shit thing on fire.
Let's have a barbecue. Both hands were cuffed behind his back, but they did not prevent our persistent pal from retrieving the lighter and flicking the bick. Sometimes you got to flick the bick.
Flick the
right?
bick. And the word of the day is persistent.
Yeah.
Never.
You got to persistently flick the bick.
I hear all the kids are flicking the bick these days.
Captured on video.
God damn it, I'm trying not to laugh.
Captured on video at 3:35 p.m., Bo-young strikes the lighter and purposely starts a fire near the door. Because if you set the door on fire, you're going to get out.
Yeah.
The video, tactfully edited, shows the euphoria of the moment as the rubber wall begins to ablaze. So, like, he's happy. He's like, yeah, you little bastards. You fucking bastard.
And they're just like, all right, well, that sucks. Happy burning. I'm sorry.
As he nonchalantly swaggers around his tomb, the fire grows. He's just like having a little celebration, like, yeah.
King of the castle, king of the castle. Wow.
Suddenly, panic sets in as Bo-young realizes the suffocation is imminent. What a surprise. So he's sitting there just like prancing around, you know.
Goes from swag to panic. Is like, yeah,
God,
this actually kind of sucks.
God, it feels good to be a gangster.
Oh, shit, gangsta can't breathe. Really? Oh, I don't like to watch videos of people dying, but I just want to see the swagger turn to panic.
The prison guards were not really expecting the cell to burst into flames. Why would they? They noticed the smoky situation too late to save the prisoner from himself, making the case of the charred crook the first prisoner death in history of the country. At 25 years of age, the only excellence Bo-young Basiak displayed was in the manner of his demise. We recognize his outstanding effort with the not-coveted Darwin Award. Better luck next time. You know, I will say one thing. Next time he responds, I hope he plays his character better.
A little bit. Just a little bit. Man, this the beer gets less and less enjoyable.
I didn't like it.
Did you finish yours already?
I'm about more
Say
than
like
half.
the closer I get to the bottom, I'm not liking it.
It's got a really
more and more.
hoppy flavor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not very good, man. We're not in a good roll with beer. All right, what's our next random Darwin Award here? Planking spanking.
Some people are into that. No judgment.
Planking is hard. Have you planked?
No.
Oh.
But I've spanked.
Touche, my friend. Touche. 15th May 2011 in Brisbane, Australia. You know, I will say there's very few in the United States lately. That's like they've all been all around.
Yeah, it's either the world or Florida.
Okay. Planking? What is it? Planking is the peculiar wit of lying flat as a plank in unusual locations. Okay, so I was talking about like the exercise planking where you put yourself on your forearms and your toes like a push-up.
No, it's when you like become a board.
Yeah. Okay, so like I knew that, but I was referencing the actual workout that's actually difficult. Lying on some random spot is not difficult. Let me clarify
You're
that.
so old.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. Train tracks, fire hydrants, clotheslines, and posting public photographs, spreading joy. Just being aboard. This Australian craze had infected poor Mr. Action B, a former planking enthusiast who is not aware that balconies are the #1 cause of gravity-fed Darwin Awards.
I'll walk out balcony.
Woo! So, balconies are pretty high up sometimes. Not knowing he was doomed to repeat the lesson. Camera ready, the 20-year-old stretched himself out, face down on the railing, arms by his sides, stiff as a plank, balanced. He's even filmed himself. That's next level. How do you film yourself getting a Darwin Award? That's pretty intense.
Was it a live stream? Because that would have been even crazier.
Don't do it. Don't cross that line, young male Homo sapiens sapiens. Oh no, the species is doomed. Down he fell, descent of man.
I don't know.
That's
Sometimes
it.
they get weird.
Yeah. Written a little weird, but there you go. So he planked on his balcony and fell off. Boom.
Reminds me of like that PETA one we read. It's like, humans are so bad. I hope they die.
Yeah, oh yeah. The whole middle finger to humanity.
Yeah. Don't be a douche. But anyways.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, so this one is called You're an Atheist. It's not You're an Atheist. It's not urinate. And it's not idiot. It's You're an Atheist.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a quick one. Washington, August 2nd, 1999. Seattle Police Incident Report. Saturday morning at 1:55 a.m., a 19-year-old male was urinating off the freeway overpass on Pine Street when he lost his footing and fell approximately 45 feet to his death.
I wonder if he fell into his own piss.
I can only
As he's going down, the piss is floating back up into his face. That's just so degrading.
No, I could almost imagine he's sitting there waiting for a car, and he's like, "All right, I'm ready. He's like leaning down just to get that extra angle of piss on the car, and then he just falls.
Oh, and then he hits the car and just piss everywhere.
He's like, yeah, you son of a bitch! I'm gonna pee as much as I can on your fucking car.
Oh my god, that is terrible. If someone's pissing on my car from an overpass, I'm gonna be pissed, literally.
Okay, all right. Let's just say theoretical story. Driving down the overpass, you see some guy, he whipped out something, you're not sure.
Whipped out something.
A stream hit your car, and you realize he pissed on your car. You're really mad, and all of a sudden you see him just hit the road.
He just falls behind you.
What are your initial thoughts?
Oh
what would you do?
That would be such a roller coaster of emotion.
Would you be
mad,
sad?
Well, I think it would happen so quick by the time you realized it was piss that he's probably already dead. Because you're like, that motherfucker just pissed on me, and then you just see him dead in the road behind you.
So, real moment, okay? So I would imagine you'd be mad. I'd imagine you'd be sad. But at any point, would you think it was funny?
I don't know. I'd probably laugh as I'm telling the story years later. You will not believe what happened.
Do you remember when I asked if you were a monster, Britton?
As you're laughing,
that's not
me
funny.
The question.
It's not funny at all.
Oh, you wouldn't laugh. Yeah, you're laughing right now.
Don't put pictures in their eyes.
No. So honestly, though, I would be it would be angry, sad, a genuine confusion of did this really just happen?
I'd straight up laugh my ass off.
Yeah, okay. So you're the monster. Don't even put that on me, bro. Okay, this one goes back to 2009. It's called Fool's Gold. 5th of February 2009 in India. Bachelor lottery agent Praveen Kusay lived with his brother's family in Versailles. His own house, an abandoned 100-year-old building, was located a few meters away. Some legends hold that a pot of gold lies buried at the end of the rainbow, but Praveen learned in a dream that an ancient pot of gold was actually buried beneath his house. He decided to follow his dream and dig for that gold. He kept his plans private to avoid a fight over the fortune, obviously. The dream told him to dig beneath the staircase, so after lunch, every day without fail, Praveen would take his spade and dig a little deeper beneath the stairs. The neighbors had no idea that days and nights of digging had resulted in a 15-foot deep tunnel. The innovative gold digger had even rigged a remote-controlled toy car to carry a flashlight to assist him in the dark. That's pretty amazing. Oh, they even got a little picture here. Look,
Oh, I'm sure.
It's like Super Mario.
The gold was in the picture too. It's hilarious. He just missed it.
He was off by just a couple feet. He was smart enough to control his lighting needs, but not smart enough to take into account the water table. One day, the 32-year-old lottery agent did not return home, and his worried relatives lodged a missing persons report. Police discovered that the floor of the old house had caved in. The soil beneath the staircase becomes wet at a depth of 15 feet due to its proximity to the sea, and the unsupported walls of the tunnel had collapsed. A few hours later, an earth mover had excavated Praveen's body from the debris. along with the spade and the innovative mobile flashlight. The lottery agent's number was up.
Yeah. I imagine he found his gold, but like right when he picked it up, it just started to cave in.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, I finally got it.
My life is going to be great from this on out. Oh. Dead. All right. Good story. All right. Next one. This one's called Physics Lesson.
Don't drag a tree towards the truck.
That's a good advice. People need to know that. Chicago, July 5th, 1984. Near the top of one of the Windy City mighty skyscrapers, a 29-year-old attorney named Reginald was locked in a heated dispute with one of his colleagues. They were arguing about the Olympics, remarked the firm's controller. Determined to settle the aspect under discussion, the two friends decided to have a race down a long hallway on the 39th floor of the building.
The only way to settle this dispute is to have our own Olympics right here.
That's actually probably the conversation. You're right. That's hilarious. On the way down the hall, Reginald, who was not wearing his contacts due to his scratched cornea, lost his perspective and crashed through the plate glass window. He fell 38 stories before striking the pavement, at which point his velocity was 0. Didn't see that. A moment before he terminated his 6-second free fall, however, his velocity was approximately 94 miles per hour in a vertical direction. This abrupt velocity change proved too much for Reginald to withstand as he promptly died. No shock. This fatality marks the second recorded manifestation of the so-called Olympic fever, previously believed to be a mythical creation of the National Broadcasting Company.
What the shit? That's a real thing?
Beginning as he did at the bottom of the 39th floor, he technically fell only 38 stories or 37 if the 13th floor was absent. Okay, that makes sense. As sometimes is the case. Kind of seems like extra information that doesn't matter. But yeah, I guess he died.
He turned into what I like to call velocity pudding.
And he never propagated the species again.
That is crazy, though, because it said in there 38 stories, right?
Yeah.
Only 6 seconds. Like, you would think it'd be longer. 6 seconds is all it takes.
Yeah, I would not want to die that way.
No. And it's all because of a scratched cornea. Like, that's corny.
It's not because he's dumb.
Yeah. It's just his eyes. That's all you have to blame.
It's really his cornea's fault.
Yeah.
Dick.
Stupid eyes.
His eye holes weren't working.
Fucking manholes. All right. This one is called High on Grass.
Oh, I'm sure you've been there, Britton.
No. I need to flick the bic. 30th September 2000 in New Mexico. A father and son team hired to mow the grass at the Tucumcari Municipal Airport decided that their skills with the lawnmower would suffice for a joyride in an airplane. Whoa, hell yeah.
I got riding lawnmower. That's just like a plane.
See, when you go to airplane school, the first question they ask is, do you know how to run a lawnmower? If you say yes, you're pretty much guaranteed a license. Guaranteed. Although neither was a certified pilot, or indeed even a student pilot, they managed to taxi the private two-seater to the fueling facility, fill the tanks, and taxi to the runway where they commenced a takeoff. I think they made it farther than I thought they would.
Fair enough.
That's when their luck ran out. 50 meters above the ground, the plane began to wobble, then entered a vertical dive and collided with the grass, which is unmowed, I will say.
Let's give them a benefit of the doubt. Maybe they were like, we're doing this. This is awesome. Let's do tricks.
Yeah. Maybe they were trying to mow the lawn with the plane, like just get close enough to just take the top of the grass off. The older man was found dead inside the flaming aircraft. The younger one managed to escape from the mangled machine before it was engulfed in flames, but subsequently died in the hospital. The men serve as examples that training and a license may not be needed to mow the lawn, but are necessary requirements for flying a plane.
This is brought to you by John Deere. This one is called Hard Heads. South Carolina, September 29th, 2000. A 32-year-old man hitching a ride on a pallet truck died when his vehicle passed under a bridge at 55 miles per hour and the concrete overpass struck the man's head.
Oh,
Oof.
Jesus.
You ain't living through that. The driver told police that he had warned the riders not to sit up there, but they were hard-headed. Apparently, the deceased wasn't hard-headed enough.
He
What?
had his hard hat on.
Why is there a second one? I mean, all right. January 2001, Australia. A 37-year-old man was enjoying the night air with his buddy, watching the stars overhead, feeling the Land Cruiser rocking gently beneath him as his wife drove him home, when an unexpected jolt flung Dean from the roof of the sports utility vehicle and into the night sky. Police said the deceased had been drinking, but what they were doing on the roof, I'm not sure. What the fuck?
Okay.
So, like, are they saying, like, his head was out and, like, something hit him and his head came off?
I don't know. They didn't really explain that very well.
I need more context. So, all right, good to know. Don't stand up if you're in the back of the truck. I'm going to give that thing a headbutt.
At high velocity. This one's called Go, Speed Racer, Go. Illinois. No, I don't have a year. Oh, it says 1999. I apologize. 1999, Illinois. This story has an ironic twist. Jim had an elderly mother whose driver's license was about to expire. She didn't want to lose her license, even though her response time was so slow that Jim knew she wouldn't be driving. He decided not to argue with his mother, but to simply take her to an Illinois driver testing facility where she would undoubtedly fail the road test, and that would be that. I think this is where the irony comes in. I think she's going to pass with flying colors.
Just doesn't want to tell his mom no. You know, I get it. That's all right.
That's a good son. But, I mean, I'm more worried about everyone else on the road at this point. On the day of the test, he picked her up and drove her to the testing facility. It was a warm and sunny day. When their turn was called, he escorted his mother to the car and helped her inside. The driving evaluator began to climb into the passenger side. At this point, Jim did something foolhardy. He walked directly behind the car and stood about 10 feet away from a brick wall. Oh, god damn. This is going to take a crazy twist. Standing behind a car is something that one should avoid even when there is a known good driver in the car. His mother started the engine, stepped on the gas, and accidentally put the car into gear. Reverse gear. Oh no. The evaluator suffered a broken arm. Poor Jim was not so lucky. He expired a few days later from internal injuries sustained in the accident. The Darwin Award goes not only to Jim, but also to his mother, who avoided passing on her own poor genes by killing her son. Perhaps mother does know best.
You know, a mother can only hope to outlive their sons or daughters.
But not be at the hands of it. Jesus Christ.
This one is called Master Welder. Australia, February 2003.
Don't.
I know, I'm just fucking with you. I heard this on the radio and happened to pass the house the next day. A homeowner was doing some welding on the roof of his house at Port Macquarie on New South Wales. He had problems with his oxyacetylene tanks slipping, so he decided to tack weld them to the roofing iron. I'm assuming this is flammable.
I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing it's not fucking good.
He's like, this will make my life so much easier.
They ain't gonna slip ever again.
Why does my toilet flush the wrong way?
I'm gonna weld the shit out of it.
That was the last thing he ever did. When I passed the house the next day, there wasn't much left on the roof on the side of the house. So I guess he died. The end.
This one's called Hurricane Blumpkin.
What is that? That could be anything. I don't know why it's funny. Like a pumpkin, but with a B?
It
What does
might
the
be.
B stand for?
I don't know.
Like it's like a B, like is a pumpkin a poop? And a B is what? What would it? I don't know. What is?
All right, we're just gonna do this. We're gonna do this live. I'm just gonna see if I'm right. A woman. What? Oh, Urban Dictionary. Blumpkin. Oh, Blumpking. Blumpkin, a male receiving genital stimulation while simultaneously taking a shit.
Oh, how is that, Britton? Is that pretty nice?
A white out and a brown out at the same time. I don't think that's what this story's referencing, so you can edit any of that out. Okay, Hurricane. This is called Hurricane Blumpkin, 2003, Virginia. Another day, another rugby player. Hurricane Isabel whipped shallow creeks into raging rivers before she calmed down to a violent tropical storm. What better time for a canoe trip especially at 2:30 in the morning on a moonless night. Enter Blumpkin, 21, captain of the university rugby team. That's an unfortunate name. Described as insane, just indestructible. He left his own party with friends who, quote, thought it would be all ha-ha and funny, end quote, to take the canoe straight down Black's Run stream to Blumpkin's old house. During a fucking hurricane, winds were gusting at 50 miles per hour as nearly a foot of rain fell on the Shenandoah Valley. The Boy Scout Canoe Merit Badge says, if in doubt, survey the water from shore. Do not run any but the mildest rapids unless you have a guide who knows the river. Wear life jackets and all rough water. Surely, Blumpkin noticed that the knee-deep water of Black's Run was now a flood churning higher than his head. Nevertheless, he launched, and just as quickly capsized. The boat occupants tossed into the swift, storm-fed stream. Our indestructible friend Blumpkin was sucked underwater twice to resurface at dawn, 100 yards downstream with a Darwin Award clutched in his fist. His female companion managed to reach shore, as did his male companion, who knew it wasn't a good idea from the start. Whether alcohol or drugs were involved, Chief Peavy was not allowed to comment.
So he was sucked under twice?
Yep.
That's really shitty. What?
Sucked under twice, shitting. All right. Well, I think that just about wraps up this episode of our good old Darwin Awards.
Yeah. Don't be stupid out there, okay?
Yeah,
There's a lot of ways you can die. Don't be like Blumpkin. Never Blumpkin.
Never Blumpkin. Don't be a Blumpkin.
I still feel like if I saw a pile of dynamite, I'd still be tempted to shoot it from a while.
You're still on that
far
shit?
away. Yeah, I can't get that on my head.
I will never be around you if I see a stick of dynamite then, because I'm going to run the opposite way as
Gotta
far as I can
go.
go, because then you're pulling out your pistol.
This reminds me of like that Family Guy episode where Peter's in the airplane. It's like a lever that says "Do not pull," and he's just staring at it. And he pulls it and opens the door, and he just dies, falls to his death.
For some reason, humans, just when we're told not to do something, we just get this weird notion that that's all we want to do.
Well, good episode tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely very fun. And again, we sincerely apologize for the extremely long break. It was definitely not planned, kind of a last-minute thing, but we got to be safe with everything that's going on. But we do plan on, again, keeping consistent going through. We've got some pretty creepy content and stuff coming up. Brand new year. We're almost a whole year long, so thank you everyone who's contributed to listening and promoting us and being a fan. Absolutely appreciate it.
Keep sending your requests to entertheabysspod@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for entering the abyss.
Until next time.